Alright guys, I made a couple of changes to make mapping a little smoother, and mapping feels pretty good now. Just a couple of things to speed things up and kind of help with all that, and I think it definitely helped. When I'm fighting bosses now, I'm not doing weapon swaps as much, just because I find I have enough damage without them. So I don't think that's any problem, unless I'm fighting like a pinnacle boss or something. The damage is feeling pretty good. I have a couple ideas that I wanted to try out before I made this video, but everyone was really bugging me to try and get this out because they said that they really want to understand it, and they had a bunch of questions. So hopefully this will help them. But yeah, for map bosses like this, I'm not actually swapping my weapons anymore. I'm just doing, you know, whatever I need to do to pop them quick, right? And I mean, pretty tanky, so I can just kind of like stop fighting them if I want, and everything will kind of be fine. But yeah, for the map bosses, I don't find I need to switch weapons much anymore, so I just kind of kill them and be done with it. But yeah, it seems good, so I'm pretty happy with the changes. But I'll take you through them and show you how it works here. Okay, so I made a couple of small edits. I know everyone wants to see the skill tree, so I'll take you through that first. And for that boss, I didn't bother to weapon swap. I just used weapon swap 1 or weapon set 1, right? Because I don't find I need the damage for map bosses, so I haven't even been bothered to weapon swap for those. And just most small bosses, like I don't find I really need to. So, but I'll find a spot to park my cursor. Some people were saying they wanted to get a good look at the skill tree, so I will just park my cursor here for a minute so you can take a good look at the skill tree. The most important thing to note are where the splits are. So make notes of where things are green and where things are red, because that's really important. And I'll just leave the cursor here for a minute too, so you can get a good look at what's going on down here. I'll zoom in a little if you need me to. So that's how that's set up right there. You can see the splits. And I'll go through it bit by bit as well. So you can see the splits there, and how that's all set up. So hopefully that helps. Everything is kind of there on the screen. And I mean, if you're watching this and you're like level 60, just don't even watch this. Go back and watch one of my videos from when I was level 60. I recorded videos of this all the way through, just so that if people wanted to replicate it, they could. So I recorded it when I was low level, I recorded it when I was mid level, I recorded it when I was high level, and then I'm recording another one now. And my first one was when I was about level 30, I think, and then my second one was when I was getting to about level 70, and my third one was when I hit about level 85, and now I'm level 92. So you'd want to go back and kind of watch the one that's similar to your level, because it's going to be more applicable to your situation, right? So that is how the skill tree is set up. I'll do a couple more passes just so everyone can see. That's the bottom, that's the top, right? And the splits are really, really important. It's really important that you pay attention to weapon set splits, okay? Because the weapon sets, they have different points depending on which slot your weapon's in, right? So when you switch weapons, you're using different nodes on the tree. And a bunch of people asked me this because they didn't understand it, right? So like these are green right here. Green means weapon set 2. Red means weapon set 1. And the yellow is both weapon sets, so they're on all the time. But the green nodes right here, like this, are only on weapon set 2 for single target damage. And the red nodes are only on weapon set 1 for area of effect damage, right? So that's how that's set up. And it's really, really important to take notes of that. So I'll go through this at the very start here and just kind of walk you through it. So I started here. I pathed down. I went down. This is on both weapon sets, right? This is on both weapon sets. This is on weapon set 1. So this is your area of effect for when you're clearing. So when you're running through areas with lots of monsters and density, you want your area of effect. So that's why I split here for damage. And then I split here for area of effect. Then I pathed across and I grabbed these on both weapon sets. Then I looped around. I looped up, and this stuff's all on both weapon sets. Looped here, right? Came down, and this stuff's all on both weapon sets. So both weapon sets, both weapon sets, both weapon sets. Now this little part on the right, this is only on weapon set 1. Right here, okay? The split starts right here. So this stuff on the left side of this is on both weapon sets. This stuff on the right is on both. Okay, and then up from here, this is another split, but this is the green, so that's the second weapon set for single target damage, right? So that's on weapon set 2. Now this is on both weapon sets. Now I wouldn't waste your time with these unless you have a diamond, because I don't think these nodes are probably worth taking unless you have a diamond here. But if you have a diamond here, then these nodes are probably worth it. But these diamonds are kind of expensive, so I don't know. And it might be worth it, it might not, right? And then I pathed down here, grabbed this. This is on both weapon sets, of course. And grabbed this to grab all the strength, right? So I just grabbed all the strength. So that's how that split. And then I came up here and I grabbed this. And I came up here and grabbed Resolute Technique. Now this is important because this is a split weapon set split. Because I was trying to get to this area of effect stuff. I didn't want to use both sets. So I only used set 1. So this is all area of effect stuff. And it's specifically for weapon set 1. Right? So that's for your clear. So that's weapon set 1's got both hammers on it, right? So that's clearing. See? Big area of effect. Small area of effect. Right? Weapon set 1. Weapon set 2. Okay, so the split starts right here. The reason I split it there is because there's no point in going for these two nodes because I don't need them. So I split them there. I don't need to come up here for anything but this area of effect stuff. If there was another way to get to this, I might have come over and spent 2 points because these nodes up here are really nice, but I don't know how the heck you could path up to them without using a lot of points. So I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But anyways, so next. Down here again, this is a split, and the reason I split here was because I was taking all the damage I could get. So again, this is on weapon set 2 because this is all damage, right? Reduced attack speed, reduced attack speed, reduced attack speed, but lots of damage, right? So this is really good for bosses because it's just loads of damage. And I was taking these before, but I don't think they're worth it anymore. They were really good last patch with ignites. Maybe they're still worth it, but I don't know. I didn't find Ignite as important because Perfect Strike comes off pretty fast. So, and then I path down here and I grab all the empowered attack stuff. Now again, this is single target damage. This is green, right? So this is all weapon set 2. So that's gonna be no area of effect. Weapon set 2, right? Because we're just doing this for bosses. And again, you might not need this until you're high level. Like this is stuff that you're only gonna probably need to run once you get high level. Because low level bosses, this stuff is a lot less important. I came down here and I grabbed this because I just had an extra point. So you can even ignore that if you want. If I had another extra point that's nothing to do with, I'd probably grab that too because it's just damage. So it's just single target damage. So that's why that's green right there. I came up here and I grabbed the Avatar Fire. I grabbed this. I used to have this anointed on my amulet, but since I leveled up, I changed this since the last video. So with the points that I leveled up from, I just pathed to this. So now I just have this all the time. And the reason I path to this is because there's 2 nodes here for stun buildup that are really, really nice, because that helps when you're propping your Bone Shatter uppercut combo, right? So this just helps for you to get those stuns off and those pops, so you can get nice full screen pops. And then you could path up if you needed more stun buildup, but I pathed down because I wanted more stun threshold. And then I grabbed Titanic. Now I used to have this anointed on my amulet. So if you don't know what that means, is amulets can be anointed, so you can apply one of these nodes to them, and everyone will tell you which one. So it's just delirium, right? You use the nodes from delirium, or the essences from delirium, and they will give you all these nodes. You just have to see what they are, and then you can anoint them on your amulet so you can have them all the time. And I used to have this on my amulet because I didn't have enough points to get to it. So I got rid of it on my amulet and I pathed there. Okay, now what I did with my amulet since then is I anointed Volcanic Skin. So you could anoint this if you get to late game, and this is expensive. It's like a couple divines to anoint this, but it's probably the best node in the game for this character. And the reason it's the best node in the game for this character is because your fire resistance gets split between your other resistances, right? Because of this here, modifiers to fire resistance also grant cold and lightning resistance. So the reason I wanted to anoint this is because I got 20 fire res, 10 cold res, 10 lightning res, and then 8% of damage is extra fire damage. Now don't confuse that with 8% more damage. It's 8% of your damage as extra damage, right? So that's important. It's important to note that, right? Because it's different. It's a lot more damage. So, all right. And then I came up here, and again, this is all both weapon sets, right? This stuff is all both weapon sets. You notice none of it's green or none of it's red. And then I pathed in here to grab this just for more resistances, right? And the reason I don't grab any of these is because you don't need them for your ascendancy, so they're just wasted points. So I grabbed these. As long as you have enough resistances, this node will balance those out, right? Because maximum fire res applies to cold and lightning res, right? So even if these nodes just say maximum fire res, they actually give you +1 fire, +1 cold, +1 lightning, right? Whereas this one just gives you +1 lightning. This one just gives you +1 cold, right? So there's a reason that you go this way, right? That's why you don't try to come up this way, or you don't try to go through here. You come up this way. It also saves you the most points if you come from this side. And you have to go up here to get blood magic anyway. So, and you're going to want blood magic, otherwise your life is going to be miserable. And again, this is something when you're high level, right? And then I grabbed this jewel. This jewel is fire damage, life regen, fire pen, and rage on melee hit. So jewel, really important to try and get a jewel that says rage on melee hit. That's like a super important thing. And I path to here, and again, this is another important split, because area of effect on this side, damage on this side, right? So that's important, because this is just for your single target damage, right? Boom. So that's your single target damage, right? The other one is going to be your just running regular map damage, right? You're losing a lot more damage. You're not doing as much damage with these nodes, but you have way more area of effect, right? So that is how that's set up. That's why that's important. But anyways, okay. Sorry, my joystick's bugged. Okay, so down here, I grabbed all the strength stuff, right? Because I needed all this strength just to run extra hammers, because hammers cost a lot of strength, so you have to stack strength on everything. And then I grabbed this because you just get damage for strength, and I have a lot of strength, right? And then Giant's Blood. You're going to want to transition to this like around maybe level 75. Pre-level 75, I mean, you might be able to start using it around level 65. I think that's what I did. I mean, and if you do that, you just have to have a decent hammer. So if you've got like a Tidebreaker, you could probably use this at a lower level and it'd be fine. So that would be fine. And I was using Tidebreaker for a long time, and it was totally fine. And then I have another jewel down here. It's fire damage, damage with maces, Warcry speed, ignite chance, just whatever. It's just whatever jewel. I bought it for like 2 exalted orbs or something. I pat down here, and again, both weapon sets right here. But this is just on weapon set 2. So this is single target damage, right? And down here, this is all weapon set 1. So this is all area attack damage and area of effect stuff. So that's just for clearing, right? So this is a split right here. This is both weapon sets along the path. Splits off weapon set 1. This is all weapon set 1, right? And then down here, grab polymathy, because you have to, because you're not gonna be able to wear hammers. Like pretty much every warrior that runs giant blood path is here. It's pretty much a necessity. And then I grabbed all this attack speed, because attack speed is like the only thing that feels good when you're playing a warrior. If you don't have attack speed, just playing warrior feels really bad and slow and shitty and clunky. Okay, and if I had 3 more points, I would path here and grab this jewel socket. See, if I was level 93, level 94, level 95, boom, jewel socket right there. And then I'd probably get like a good juicy jewel for this jewel socket, right? But that's probably what I would do with my last 3 points, because there isn't really anything else on this tree that I would want to path to. I'm like happy with where everything is. Everything feels really good. It feels super good to play. It feels really smooth. I haven't really made any significant changes from the last video and this one, other than this one, which was really nice. Getting this extra stun build up was really nice. This extra stun threshold, and then just grabbing Titanic, and then anointing this. But like, you don't need to do that. You can just anoint Titanic and just go without, because Titanic is cheap. Titanic is a really cheap anoint, right? So you can anoint this on your amulet for like, I think it was like 8 exalted orbs or something when I bought the delirium stuff for it. Yeah, so it's just blue, paranoia, and guilt. Despair, paranoia, and guilt. Sorry, I think about them as colors. But yeah, that's pretty much how that's set up. All right, but yeah, that's the skill tree. That's it in a nutshell. Pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward skill tree. And then of course up here, these haven't changed. I'm still using the same thing with the regen, the fire res, the strength, and the life. So these were my ascendancy points. Before I got my ascendancy points, you'll see on like the older videos when I was lower level that I just grabbed these 4 nodes, and I also used this one for leveling a bit with corpse explosion. But then I just pathed here and I grabbed these 4 once I finished doing Trials of Sekhmet twice, and getting the ascendancy points from those. But that's how this whole skill tree is set up. So one more quick pass over it. Okay, so for stuff, I'm still running the same stuff basically. I have 4 malls. One of these other ones is for mapping too, but I still have the same one that I had before, and it's still working really good. And I'm happy with it. So when I'm not carrying shield, I'll sometimes just carry 4 hammers and switch, but I haven't been switching as much for bosses lately, so I haven't been doing that as much. My rings are still the same. I still have the same rings. I haven't changed my rings at all. These are exactly the same rings I was wearing before. So all the same stuff there. I got a better Zoph's blood and qualityed it up just so I could get more life. So as you can see now, I'm 90, 90, 90, 62 chaos. I have 4,100 life and 578 strength. So things are going all right there. I could cap this chaos res if I really wanted to, but I just don't feel like it. I just have to like buy some more stuff. And I mean, I could buy the stuff for it, and you know, or I could like maybe Valor some of this stuff for more sockets, or buy backups or whatever. But yeah, I just don't really want to. It seems like enough chaos resistance. I'm still using the same armor. The armor is just this passive, right? Smith Masterwork. So that's what my armor is. So it's just basic plate with Smith Masterwork on it, right? So bought a new helmet. It's just strength, int, chaos res, max life. Just had the stuff that I wanted on it, so I bought it. I think it was like 30 exalts or something. I got a better Zoph's Blood amulet. I qualityed it with life, and then I allocated volcanic skin on it. I bought some different boots with more strength because I needed more strength. I upgraded my Inferno clasp to a slightly nicer Inferno clasp with the +5. I still have the same gloves. I'm still using the same gloves. I have 2 sets of gloves. If I'm feeling lazy, I'll just swap my gloves to tank gloves and my belt and my shield. Right? So if I wanted to run it like a more tanky version, see now I have 4,700 life. You can see my total life recovery per second is 844 per second when I'm running with the tank setup. The shield doesn't appear to be bugged today, so that's good. You guys actually get a good view of what the regen is like. So yeah, I have 4,700 life, and obviously my lightning res is not calculating properly because I used to have a lightning res ruin in this. But anyway, I have 4,700 life, 52 armor, 90, and this used to be basically 90, but I stuck a chaos res jewel in this, so whoops. And then 71 for the chaos res, and yeah, 844 life regeneration per second. So just for like clarification, like a life flask heals you for 1,490 life over 3 seconds. I'm getting 844 per second. So I'm healing more life when I'm running my shield in my tank setup than you would be if you were drinking a life flask. So my character is drinking a life flask permanently. He's drinking 1.5 life flasks permanently without ever having to drink a life flask when I'm running the shield setup. So if I'm feeling lazy, I can run the shield setup and my character will be permanently on life potion. So, and then charm, I am just running whatever. I'm just running a golden charm. I didn't find I needed any other charm, so I was just running this for rarity, and I just was getting more rarity from it. But you could put like a better charm in there. The belt, the reason I switched my belt is because once you put this shield on, you get the maximum fire res, right? And because of the passive, you get the maximum cold and lightning, right? Just like we talked to you about over here. So maximum cold lightning. So that's why I swapped that. When I'm not running the shield, right, I just switch it off. So I just switch that back, right? And everything goes back to normal, right? So yeah, that's pretty much how that's set up. You get the idea. But yeah, I bought this hammer. This is a new hammer. I got this specifically for mapping to replace my Tidebreaker. And the reason I got this, it doesn't have skills on it, which I'm sad about. But the thing that I liked about it is it had 24% increased attack speed. It has an implicit for 34% increased stun buildup, right? 34% increased stun buildup, 24% attack speed, and then 32% increased stun buildup. So it's got double stun buildup plus attack speed, plus it has this fat roll for increased elemental damage, and then it just had a couple of big fizz rolls, which is fine. That just gets converted, but it has a fat roll for elemental, a great roll for attack speed, and then all this stun build up, which is really good. So I really liked that, and that's why I grabbed it. And this other one is just the same one I was running before. It's just lots of attack speed, elemental damage, melee skills. I still have this same hammer I had before with elemental damage, melee skills. Yeah, everything else is basically the same. Like I didn't really change anything else. Changed my boots. But yeah, everything is all the same stuff as last time, so I won't bore you guys with that because this stuff is all the same. The affixes you want, right? Attack speed, elemental damage, melee skills, some nice elemental fizz rolls are great. Increased stun buildup is nice because then it's easier for you to do the wombo combo, right? So that's why that's important. I put 2 skill speed ruins in this one because ruins are obviously that getting you to move faster, leap slam faster, earthquake faster, bone shatter faster, right? Everything moves you faster. So yeah, that's obviously why I was doing that. And because I was using this hammer specifically for mapping, like I wasn't really using it for bosses. I was just using that because it made me move faster, and I just like how that feels. I just really like being able to move fast. And same thing with this, right? 1.36 attacks per second, and this does 1.30 plus 16 skill speed, so it's like 1.46 or whatever it calculates to. You'd have to figure it out on your own. Anyways, for skills, I'm still using Leap Slam. I swapped in Holy Descent. I had something else in here before, but I switched in Holy Descent. Momentum is still in there like before. Brink is still in there like before. And then Cadence is still in there like before. So these haven't changed other than this Holy Descent one. Bone Shatter. The biggest change I made here was I didn't realize that when you add quality to Bone Shatter, it gives you 20% more attack speed. So I added Bone Shatter because I was getting 20% more attack speed. So the reason why it's so good is that's basically martial tempo, right? So when you add quality to this, you're adding martial tempo to it for free. So this is like having a 5 link, but it's not. It's just a 4, right? Because you get martial tempo for free with just having quality on it. So quality is really super important on this skill. Don't stop quality because it makes you bone shatter really fast, right? So your uppercuts are like amazing with this, right? So make sure you add quality to this. It's like one of the most important things. And then I still have the same supports on it: impact shockwave, ancestral call, and magnified effect. So that stuff is all the same, but definitely add quality to this. It's really important. And then earthquake, I added a couple links to this. Reach, still on there. Overpower, still on there. That hasn't changed. Elemental focus, I added this. I added this instead of defy for more damage. You can't ignite anymore when you do earthquakes, but you do 25% more damage, and the more damage gives you more stun. So more damage plus more stun equals more stuns, obviously, right? And then I added martial tempo, so now I can earthquake really fast. So sometimes when I'm feeling lazy, I just spam earthquake, because earthquake will just like clear the screen in like a tier 15 map. Anytime I'm doing like a trials room, or I'm doing like one of those stupid lock boxes, I basically just stand there and spam earthquake now and just kill everything because I'm too lazy to like run around and actually fight enemies. But yeah, so that's how that's set up: reach, overpower, elemental focus, and martial tempo. So that was the change I made there, and that was important. Earth Shatter is still exactly the same. It's still upheaval, font of rage, and ignition. I'm still using that, right? So none of that's changed. Infernal Cry, still premeditation, ingenuity, and raging cry. Again, there might be something better you can run on this. I don't know. I haven't bothered to check yet. I've just been playing and enjoying the game, so I haven't really had time. Still using overwhelming presence. I still have nothing in it. Still using Herald of Ash with vitality and cannibalism and fire mastery. So I actually added fire mastery in there. I forgot to have it in there. I finally got around to doing it. I just play the game, and if something doesn't bother me, I just kind of forget that I need to do it. So I actually went in and did my support gems after I recorded that last video because I felt like a monkey. Perfect Strike. When I was killing all those bosses, I only had 5 links on my Perfect Strike. So I didn't actually have this 5th one. I wasn't even using this. So make sure if you have a 5th one, you try and swap in like more damage, right? Like I could have had way more damage, but I didn't bother to swap it in for bosses. But anyways, what I've been running on Perfect Strike is Window of Opportunity, so Concentrated Effect, still the same, Primal Armament, and Close Combat. I added Close Combat in. I forgot about the support gem completely, even though it was in last season, because I'm just a monkey. So Window of Opportunity, Concentrated Effect, Primal Armament, Close Combat, and then I found a Perfect Jeweler's, so I added this last link onto it. So if I was going to go do a boss, I just added this. I haven't even had a chance to kill any bosses with it or anything. But I would also add Fire Infusion for more damage. So this is what I would probably run: Close Combat, Primal Armament, Concentrated Effect, Window of Opportunity. So if I was doing like a big boss, this is the setup I would probably run. I haven't been running that because I just haven't had it, but you get the idea. The reason I put Unbreakable on it is because when you're in maps and you go to Perfect Strike like a rare, you just don't want to get hit and stunned while you're charging your Perfect Strike. So for mapping, I stuck Unbreakable in it just so that if I get popped with like a big slam from a rare enemy, I don't get stunned while I'm charging my Perfect Strike, and I can still like tank the stun and then just hit him after, right? And then Hammer of the Gods I haven't changed. It's still Expanse. It still has Fire Infusion. It still has Fist of War. And it still has Fast Forward is new, actually. I did add Fast Forward to this. I used to have my Martial Tempo on my Hammer of the Gods, but I switched it to my Earthquake. This felt a lot better. I really liked it. So I switched it over. I wish you could run a second Martial Tempo, because I would rather have Martial Tempo and Hammer. But I switched it to Fast Forward just so that the hammer comes down faster. Just because when you're running through maps and you want it to feel smooth, it feels a lot smoother when the hammer comes down fast, or you just cast the hammer faster. So I was running Martial Tempo on it before, but I found that it was smoother if I moved the Martial Tempo to Earthquake and then just put Fast Forward on Hammer of the Gods. So Fast Forward's on Hammer of the Gods now. So that's how that's set up. But yeah, none of that has changed, right? So other than that one skill gem on the end, that fast forward. But Fist of War and Fire Infusion and Expanse are still all the same. So I'm still running all that. Everything else is mostly the same, other than this Holy Descent. I added a Leap Slam, Martial Tempo, and Elemental Focus. I added an Earthquake that really sped things up. Adding Quality to my Bone Shatter really sped things up. But yeah, that's basically it. I think that's pretty much everything. I'll do one more little jaunt over the skill tree in case anyone missed it. Go through it again. Just nice and slow so you can get a good look. There you go. Okay, and I better mention, a couple people did get a hold of me and we ran some maps. Shout out to my friend from Italy who ran maps with me for a couple hours. You're dope. Anyways, I have all this extra stuff. I gave a bunch of the other extra stuff away, but I still have some other stuff. I've got my old belt, so if anyone wants my old belt, let me know. I have this leveling amulet that's really juicy, so if you want this leveling amulet, it's good. It gives you lots of attributes and intelligence, which lets you wear armor energy shield bases for leveling, which is really nice because you don't have to invest in intelligence, so you just wear an amulet like this. Maximum life, all attributes, intelligence, fire resist. This is just nice because then you can wear a helmet like that for leveling until you can get something better later on, or until you can get one of these amulets. I also killed Zhesht and he dropped one of these amulets, so I have one of these amulets. If someone wants it, they can have it. It's a pretty decent roll. It's 14 life and 30 fire res, so it's like actually a really good roll. I have these extra gloves. Would be great leveling gloves. I have my old boots that I was wearing in the last video. Someone can have those. I got some better boots. Upgraded my boots to strength, max life, fire res boots. So anyone can have my old boots. They're double fire res, chaos res, socketed, life, intelligence. Like, these are really good boots, so there's nothing wrong with those. And they're 30 ms. And then I just found I have a couple of armors. This one I was actually using before I switched to Smith's Masterwork. So right before I did the bosses, I was just using this armor so someone could have that if they don't have their ascendancy points done for their armor yet. And then I have these two armors too that have just been sitting there. So if you've got your ascendancy points done and you just need an armor to like do your blacksmithing on, you can use these armors. So if you need one, just let me know. And then I found some hammers just while I've been mapping that are like decent. So I've just been stashing them for anyone who needs them. I got elemental damage, attack speed. So like this is a nice hammer. And then I found this other one. This is also a really nice hammer. It's 4 all melee skills, 10% attack speed, 91 elemental damage, and it's got some nice elemental roll on it. So, and it's got 36 life on kill. So this is actually a really nice hammer. There's nothing wrong with it. It's actually really good. It's not that much different than like the hammers I'm using. Honestly, it's pretty similar. It just needs some quality, and you throw a couple of ruins in it or whatever, and you're good to go. And then I found this one, which has just had a lot of melee skills roll on it. So yeah, if someone wants that, they can have it. That's totally fine. And then a bunch of people have been bugging me for like max roll or like mobilytics or like all that stuff. I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't know how that stuff works yet. I will try and figure it out. Like life is super busy for me. Like I have a wife, I got a family, I got a career, like I got all this other stuff eating at my time. And when I do have free time, I just want to play video games, like I'm middle-aged, I got a family, I just want to play video games. So like I will try and learn how to use mobilytics and max roll when I have a chance, but you gotta understand, like it eats into my like time that I have for myself, which is limited. So I just try to play video games in my personal time, right? I think this video has already been going for like 30 minutes, so like that just ate into my game time right there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you got any questions, I'll try to answer. I've been getting a lot of questions. It's been really hard for me to answer them all. Hopefully I covered them here. If you've got any questions, sure, just throw them in the comments. It's been really hard to answer everyone. I had a bunch of people comment like all kinds of crazy nonsense. Like some dude accused me of like speeding up the video because like I was mapping so fast. He thought I was like editing the video to speed up the video. Like, bro, go back 1 month and look at my YouTube videos. Like I barely know how to upload a YouTube video. If you go back a month and look at my last YouTube videos where I was just giving away my old builds, it looks like they were filmed on like a 1994 Nokia cell phone, bro. Like I'm not tech savvy. Like you guys gotta understand this. I am not tech savvy. I barely know how to upload a video to YouTube. I literally just just figured this out. Some dude coached me on how to upload YouTube videos from the comment section on my old YouTube video. You can go back and read those. Like, I'm not joking. Anyways, yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, just be patient. I'll try and figure that stuff out when I can, but like I just got other stuff on the go and I got like a lot on my plate, right? So I'll just look into it when I get a chance. But anyways, that's pretty much it. If this helped you, you know, like it so other people can find it. I think this warrior build is incredible. I think it's really good. I think it's probably like one of the best of the season. I think it's like the most fun build I've pretty much ever played. You use so many buttons. It's so interactive. And like, oh my God, I hate to admit it, but I think old Jonathan and his vision might have been right, boys. I'm scared that he might have been right. But anyways, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.